Like,
Okay.
That's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's racing show is sponsored by ReviewFamily.com, Auto Sales, and DirtTrackRaceCars.com. Tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show, #1 on YouTube, we have with us Mike Boesel. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hi there, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. How did your racing career get started, Mike?
Oh, my dad raced. My dad raced in Ukiah. Kind of got into the sport, and of course, my big brother Gary Boesel raced for 20 years or so, and then I kind of just toddled around him at the age of 4, 5, 6, up there, and just kind of got wormed into it by my dad racing, my brother racing, third generation. So that's really all I know is racing, and it's kind of just started my business when I was about 15 years old, and never really had a job. I just got my big shop here and just build race cars.
Okay. When you first got behind the wheel of the race car for the first time, were you the least bit scared at all?
Not really. I'll tell you, I started to really bear with me, guys. My mascot Lilo's here, but I actually started at Colorado National Speedway working with George Butland. I was actually about 11 years old, and I had this thing called track packers. So at the age of about 11, we built a track packer. So my buddy Johnny Woodar built the cage for us and put some big sprint car tires on it. And I'd go out there about 11 o'clock and help George Butland and Doug Rykowski water the dirt track back then. Kind of hang out all day. And I'd make about 400 laps before everybody showed up, about 4 o'clock. And so I was driving pretty young age on the dirt, slinging it sideways and stuff. And I got to start my stock car career about 14. Kind of got kicked out for the first year because my buddy Pete Butland kind of got me, but started racing at a real young age, about 14. So I wasn't really scared. I got a lot of laps before I actually got into a real race car.
Okay. So how much success have you had as a race car driver?
Oh, quite a bit. I can peek around here, but a lot. I've won several championships and 100 main events or so, and very good success actually. I started at a young age. I think there was 80 what we called bombers back in the day, and I think about the third week you got to be qualified top 24 to get into the main event. And I kind of made the main event probably second or third week, as Joe Bellin would know, and kind of just ran about second or third out of 80 cars. And I think it took about 4 weeks before I won a main event and actually learned how to pop the champagne bottle over the fence to get the extra $100 that George Butland put out. So kind of started then, and that kind of got me into building my own cars. Johnny Woodar actually built the first cage in our Camaro. From then, I kind of been really good friends with Johnny Woodar. He's done so much for me. God bless his soul. But from there, I just decided to try to build my own cars and worked with Johnny Woodar. And he really let me get into the shop, let me use his tubing bender for a while. And then, of course, I started buying my own equipment. And by 15 or 16, I had most of my own equipment and started renting a shop and just kind of started building a couple cars as fast as I could build them. I sold them. So I'd go out and do really pretty good, like win a main event in my IMC modified back then, and somebody would want to buy it. So, of course, I sold it. And then all of a sudden, I started getting 3 cars behind and realized that maybe I could make a living at it. So I kind of just stuck with it. And next thing I know, I think I was 18 or 19 years old, and I had 5 or 10 cars to build, modifieds and stock cars. So as of right now, I believe I built close to 3,000 race cars, and I'm on number 99 actually modifieds. Probably about the same thing on stock cars, about 99.
Okay. What is the story behind your racing number? Where did that come from?
What's that?
What is the story behind your racing number? Where did that come from?
Well, my dad was number 77, and of course my brother was number 77. So I'm the third generation with 77. And when we go farther in the meeting, you peek behind me, maybe I'll do it real fast here. But my whole wall here is full of customer cars and 77s everywhere. It's one of my dad's favorite T-shirts. And of course, those are my Bonsai Maymod kids. But 77 has really been around the family forever. And so 77 is like all I know, yellow 77. And yellow is my favorite color only because I kind of got yellow race cars and it still is my favorite color. So everything I got is yellow 77.
Okay. Who do you have for sponsors on your racing team?
Oh, I tell you what, I got a lot. I got Dave at Northside Towing, at Brian Shaw Disposal, and several others. My brother owns a couple body shops. He actually just recently sold the Alpine Car Store Auto Body. Jordan Road Car Store Auto Body. I got Napa Strasburg. I got Lulu's Inn. Got a lot of little sponsorships here and there, and I've been I kind of gave up the racing thing about 8 years ago for the kids, for the bonsai kids, and just recently kind of got back into it. Figured I'd kind of get back into it, and actually have a stock car sitting over here. I'll show you. It's pretty much ready to go. I'm going to run a little bit off and on and put a kid into it once in a while. It's kind of actually I built it for the kids, but nobody's really wanted to get into it yet. But if there's anybody out there like Jaden Alvarado and some other kids, they're more than welcome to come drive it. But I actually have a stock car over here ready to go. I'll be running at I-76 probably in the next Winter Series race.
Okay. So, what is your home racetrack you race on?
I'll tell you what, I race everywhere. I mean, over the years, of course, I've been all over the United States. My home track right now is basically I-76 Speedway, Fort Morgan, Colorado. And my good buddy Butch and Bo Spiker, Monica, and behind me here you see Silas and Noah Spiker. I work with them really closely in their racing career and through their bonsai mini mods and I haven't really worked with them much on their IMC modifieds, but really love the family out there. I call that my home track, I-76 Speedway. And of course, I go with Joe Bellum. He's my good friend, Joe Bellum. I try to support him as much as I can too. Go to the BST events when I can and support that. And I also go up to Nebraska once in a while and back into Kansas when I can. And we're trying to get the bonsai mini mods out into around some other states I'm working on right now too.
Okay. What is your favorite racetrack you ever raced on?
Oh boy, that's a good one. Colby, Kansas. Colby, Kansas back in the day was really high bank. I used to race out there with Joe Bellum and Brady Cohen, Darren DeLoach, good friends, Chad Dolan, stuff like that back in the day. And that's by far my favorite track. High bank, really fast, and right on the edge all the time. Had a really good crowd. That's definitely my favorite track.
Okay. All right. What tracks are you looking forward to racing in coming up this year?
What's that?
What tracks are you looking forward to racing in coming up this year?
We're going to run I-76. We're running as many BST shows as we can. Try to support him on his BST shows. And we're going to Arizona a couple times, and we're going to peek down to maybe Texas a couple times. And of course, we're going to hit Kansas when we can. There's a really decent track in Salina that I've committed to going to Salina, Kansas this year. And we're actually going to peak at Colorado National Speedway too. And we're possibly going to do a little bit of figure eight racing with my good buddy Jeremy Walt.
Okay. All right. So, who's on your racing crew?
My racing crew? Well, that's a good one. I got quite a bit of help actually. I got boy, there's a long list of names, but I got Chris Monk, Christy, friend of mine, and a couple others that come and go, but really strong. I have a buddy named Monk. He's back here working away, and Chris, and I got my buddy Sam that's over here working away too. And those are my three dedicated ones, but I got people come and go that are really good help. But those are my strong pick crew right now, and they're really kind of stick together as a team, us three right now.
When you're strapped in the race car getting to go on the racetrack, what helps get you psyched up and motivated to go out and do this?
What's that?
When you're strapped in your race car getting ready to go on the racetrack, what helps get you psyched up and motivated to go out and do this?
Well, of course, I love some music once in a while. A little bit of everything. This is how we roll. My good buddy Steve Lewis and Papa Lewis and stuff like that. We used to, this is how we roll song, Florida Georgia line, stuff like that. Music gets me pumped up. But I'll tell you what, when you got a shop full of race cars like I do, and you work on race cars all week, you're always pumped up to go racing. So it doesn't take me much to get pumped up to go. But the biggest thing that pumps me up is watching the kids that we built here race. That by far gets me the most pumped up, and I actually enjoy that by far more than I ever do racing my own car, watching these kids race.
Okay. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten as a race car driver?
Boy, as a race car driver, keep it clean. Keep it clean. Keep it professional. Work with the right people. Don't go the wrong direction. Speak loud. Speak clear. Keep well dressed and stuff. And good things are going to happen for you. Always present yourself well, and good things are going to happen to you. But you also got to really focus on making that a really priority in life. There's a lot of stuff going on in life, but if you're going to be a race car driver, like Kenny Wallace would say, it's a full-time deal. You can't just part-time it. Everywhere you go, you kind of got to think about who you see and what you do with, and keep racing in your background. There's always a way to maybe talk to the right person and get a little help or sponsorship, or possibly work your end away, maybe driving somebody else's race car, which I've done most of my career. I've say over half my career, I've drove somebody else's race car. So keep your head up, always keep clean, and stay focused.
Okay. What kind of advice would you give a new race car driver?
Boy, a new race car driver,
Yeah.
and get out on my test track. Of course, I have a couple race tracks out back. I have a test track for the mini mods. It's like a small fifth, and then I got a little bigger quarter mile, and I actually have a 3/8 mile. But make laps. If you're a new driver, make laps, any laps as you can. And that's the biggest thing. Hang around people that are going to give you good advice. And if you can make laps other than at the parking lot getting in trouble, even if it's a grocery store in a grocery cart, be smooth, whatever you got to do. Lap time, there's no excuse for lap time. I got a lot of guys that get started and they kind of start one week and off one week. It's hard to pick up like that. Try to race as much as you can, get as much laps in as you can. And even if it is at a grocery cart at the grocery store, I still race around the grocery store with the grocery cart and slide sideways to the edge like I'm a kid. Lap time, no substitute for lap time.
Okay. Do you have a racing nickname?
What's that?
Do you have a racing nickname?
Do I have a racing what?
Nickname. Do you have a racing nickname?
So in my career, I suppose I was about 18. I was at Rocky Mountain Speedway. I raced a lot at Rocky Mountain Speedway, and I was doing really good running my modifieds, and I had several cars out there, probably 10 or 15 cars. My engine builder, one night we came in and I had won, I don't know, 4 or 5 main events in a row, and he nicknamed me Bonsai. And I suppose I was maybe not quite 18, 17 or 18. So he nicknamed me Bonsai. My good buddy RJ Lund, good friend of mine, and it stuck. For some reason, it stuck. So about the age of 18, ever since then, my nickname's Bonsai. That's how I kind of come up with Bonsai Mini Mods. But that's definitely my nickname, Bonsai. And it's really stuck with me. And some people don't even know my real name. They call me Bonsai. But Bonsai kind of came from going 3 wide, making kind of crazy moves and stuff and trying to win the race. So I kind of got Bonsai and it stuck with me over the years.
Okay. Who's your racing hero?
Oh, by far Dale Earnhardt Sr. Definitely Dale Earnhardt Sr. Of course, my dad, but hands down, it's Dale Earnhardt Sr. Tough day when he passed and stuff. I was watching live on TV, but he's definitely my racing icon of the big thing. Of course, short track racing, you know, Steve Kinser, Sammy Swindell, a lot of short Larry Phillips. Back in the day, we used to have Larry Phillips. And it goes into the other people I grew up with around here in town, you know, the Rattler, Larry Dakin, Reggie Brown, Lance Newman. I can go on and on. Butch Spiker, of course, Johnny Woodard, Eddie Woodard. I can go down the line with even the Bracks, Bill Brack, Saban, all the locals. I mean, they all kind of got in to be my heroes, but by far the biggest one would be Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Okay. All right. Have you ever met Dale Earnhardt Sr.?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I did. I met him and Bob Jr. in Phoenix. I don't remember what year it was, but I actually got to talk to him for about 10 minutes, maybe longer. I hung out in the garage with them, and pretty cool. They're just good, down to earth people. And I looked at Dale Earnhardt really good, talked to him a lot, and I kind of looked really after him as far as I got 42 acres. I work my ass off every day. I mean, I tidy up, I work hard, I shovel, shit, poop, whatever it is, and rake and stuff, and hustle as much physical stuff as I can, because that's kind of how Dale Earnhardt was. So I kind of take after him off the track too.
Okay. So, all right. Do you have any crazy racing stories you'd like to share with us?
Stories? Oh boy, yeah, a lot of stories. I'll tell you what, one that sticks out is when I first started these, and I'll try to be as quick as I can, but I built these bonsai mini mods originally for adults. And about 24 years ago or 25 years ago, I engineered a jig that I have over here, and I actually built them for adults. And I kind of sold 6 cars right off the bat. And we were out here playing a couple times and stuff. And one of the stories that really sticks out is my good buddy Race Life. And Lucky Bikeman used to own Poor Boy Auto Salvage, and my good buddy Race Life was out here. We were playing one day, and he kind of quit with the big cars and stuff and likes to always go up front, and he had to be a hot rod one day, and that's one of my biggest stories that stick out. But he wanted low air pressure in the left rear tire of his Bonsai Mini Mod thing, and we kind of did it. I told him not to go that low and stuff. We probably had 8 or 9 cars out here. And I had a tractor, and I was kind of sitting up here drinking a beer, watching and stuff. And next thing I know, he's passing everybody and kind of going too fast, and he kind of zigzagged like that. And the track was pretty good. Next thing I know, I see a car flying over the edge of my bank over there, flying through the air, probably 10, 15 feet through the air. I seen arms and limbs stuff hanging out of the window and stuff. And it kind of kept rolling and rolling over the bank. And I kind of looked around, and sure enough, it was my good buddy Race Life. And I kind of got on my four-wheeler and went down there as fast as I could. And he was upside down, kind of bleeding a little bit and stuff. And he asked if he was okay. And I told him, yeah, you're okay. And he was okay. But that was one of my stories that really sticks out, is the old man was probably 73 years old and a Bonsai Mini Mod, and kind of went for about 11 roll tumble. And it was a pretty good race car story that we talked about for a lot of years after that. That one really sticks out because it really left a mark on everybody. As a matter of fact, the steering wheel is hanging on my wall right now. God bless him. He passed away this year. But he's a really good friend of mine. But that's a really good racing story. And I've got so many other racing stories. The other one that sticks out, I'll just throw it out there. My good buddy Ed Vettorelli, Diesel Service and Supply, my good friend Jerry Robertson and stuff. I used to race at Colorado National Speedway. I'd run dirt on Thursday and maybe dirt on Friday or Saturday, and I'd go to Colorado National Speedway on Sunday. And I kind of did work for Ed Vettorelli for a couple months. He's a good buddy of mine. And he kind of had me huff and trash the stuff the day of the Challenge Cup one year. And he kind of worked me into the ground, maybe late to the races and stuff one year. I'll never forget that. But I showed up pretty late. I actually had a brand new motor and stuff. And he really made me late. I had to run the B main, stuff like that. But I made my way to the main event, and the car was really good. Came from about dead last. And I passed Ed Vettorelli for the win at Challenge Cup. I don't remember exactly what year it was. I got a trophy somewhere around here. But that was one of my good memories, that he really kind of made me late for the races and stuff. And I actually got to beat him. Challenge Cup, I don't remember, 21 or something like that. And it was a good memory, good times after the races. Of course, we got to shoot shit with Ed, and he kind of laughed and smiled, and so did I. But that's a really good memory that I have. But to follow that up, my good buddy Tony Finley and the racetrack at Colorado National Speedway actually bought my engine too. So I got to win the Colorado Challenge Cup, whatever it was, and they got to buy my engine too, to figure out that it was not really very special. So that's my probably second biggest racing story I got.
Okay. What's your favorite part about being a race car driver?
Oh, the people by far. The people. Driving a race car is great. And, I've had the opportunity to do it my whole life, and I love it. But by far the people. I could go to anywhere. Like I had Mike Troth as a car owner. We go to Walmart or whatever in Arizona when we went racing in Arizona, and you hang out at the Arizona Walmart or something, and just have the people coming up and, walking around your cars, and even, the day you're working on the car before the race or something. It's all about the people. And without the people, we wouldn't have this sport. So by far, it's definitely the people. And especially like after the races, I'm the first one to sign autographs, last one to leave. And I always try to give them maybe a piece of my car or anything you can to make them happy. But it's definitely the people. The racers are great. And of course, the racers are your buddies and stuff. But to have people that, especially maybe you've never really seen races and stuff like that, come see you after the races or want an autograph or something, and you get to tell them a story or whatever, or let their kids sit in your race car. By far, that's the biggest thing in racing. It's all about the people.
Right. So, okay. All right. Who would you like to thank for helping you get this far with your racing career?
Oh, by far, well, my dad and my big brother are grateful for sure. He kind of footed the bill for my first few cars a little bit. And it goes into my good buddy Mike Sanholm. He's in Wisconsin right now, but I grew up with my good friend Mike Sanholm and his dad, Bill Sanholm, which helps Becky Dakin at I-76 Speedway. By far, I would have to thank him with trying not to have a tear in my eye. I actually grew up working on my race car in Bill Sanholm's garage. So for the first 4 or 5 years maybe, I worked on my car in Bill Sanholm's garage with him and Jim Stevens and Bruce Allen. And we really learned a lot. Bill Sanholm taught me how to win. God bless him. He's still out there. Still, I think he's probably 75 or actually 74 years old now. He goes to I-76, races with Becky Dakin. And he taught me a lot. Chassis setups, grooves, lines, every inch of a race car, really technical stuff, bump steer, roll steer, anti-squat, stuff like that. How to de-arch leaf springs, how to really make a car go fast, how to drive without power steering. At the young age of 14, by rebuilding our power steering boxes on the bench for about 5 hours at a time, learning how to really race with not really much money, but not really technology, just I don't know what you call it, but kind of wit, racing wit, smart. We raced with very little money, and we were always fast, and didn't really have a big budget, but we always ran up front. And by far, I would owe everything I've really learned in my early career to Bill Sanholm.
Okay. What do you like to do for fun outside the racetrack?
What's that?
What do you like to do for fun outside the racetrack?
Oh man, I love to ski. I love snow skiing. Not really good at water skiing, but I like to try it. But once in a while, of course, I play golf. I love football, basketball, dirt bikes, of course. Dirt bikes, go karts, stuff like that. Love all that. I like going to e-liches. I like all kinds of rides. There's nothing that really scares me. I love to ride all kinds of rides. And I don't do much traveling as far as like sightseeing and stuff like that. Although I did live in Germany for a year with my mom when they booted me out of Colorado National Speedway. Kind of been all over Europe, but not really into the sightseeing stuff. But I'm very active. Around here, we're getting ready to build a zip line, I think. It goes from the top of the hill, maybe down to the shop. So I'm still a kid at heart. So I play hard.
Okay. So when you're out there racing on a dirt track, do you like a wet, heavy track, a dry, dusty track, or right in the center?
So I like a wet track for sure. Better. We don't like dry tracks at all. Don't like that dry track at all. Stickier is better. Tacky, wet. I've won several enduro races in the rain and snow. I noticed that we canceled a couple races here over the years because it rained and snowed in the enduros. And behind me, I've got I don't want to I kind of got nicknamed the enduro poor one year because I won a lot of enduro races. But I love adversity. I love rain, snow, and the enduros. And on the dirt track, wetter the better. Definitely like a wet track. Like to go out with 12 or 14 tear-offs on. And I like it when they start it wet. And if it's dry, it's okay, but dry is not as much fun. Definitely got to have a wet track. Tackier the better.
Okay. So do you have a racing page the racing fans can follow you on?
What's that?
Do you have a racing page the racing fans can follow you on?
I have Bonds. Well, I have a couple of them on Facebook. I have Bonsai Mini Mods. It's behind me over here. It's Bonzai Mini Mods, and then I have Bonsai Race Cars too on Facebook. And I got an Instagram thing. I'm not real great at that. And we're actually getting ready to come up with a new website, sort of for my stock car stuff. I'm kind of working on that right now, but mostly on Facebook. Feel free to check it out. I think it'll ask you to join stuff, but right now it's mostly Facebook.
Okay. Who are some of your friends at the racetrack?
Oh boy. Pretty much everybody. We got the people that, well, we don't really like each other, but there's not very many people I don't really get along with at the racetrack. I communicate with everybody. There's really not anybody that sticks out that just really hates me other than DJ Banks, unfortunately. Of course, I raised him pretty much. But my good buddy DJ Banks kind of got a problem with me right now because he spun out in front of the field at the last one of the races here a while back and kind of got clobbered by everybody. He thinks I spun him out. But my good buddy DJ Banks, if you're out there, love you. But he's really the only one I've had a problem with. But I get along with everybody, and even if we have our outs and ins, doesn't matter of time. The next week we'll shake hands. So
Okay.
and even DJ, I love DJ Banks. Trust me, he's a good friend of mine. But
okay. So are you presently looking for more sponsors?
oh yeah, most certainly. We're always looking for sponsors. And of course for the Bonsai Mini Mods, always use some help there. And I'm actually working on this 3/8 mile track out back, and it's pretty real. I'll get some stuff on Facebook soon, but we've been working on it a lot lately, really a lot. As a matter of fact, we worked on it almost all night the other night, and we're going to try to put something up there for a race here pretty soon. It's really going to happen. So we're definitely looking for some help on that racetrack out here too.
Okay. So I would like to, if there's anybody out there that would like to sponsor Mike or or get to know Mike, reach out to him on his social media platforms that he mentioned. Mike, I would like to thank you for being on our racing show tonight. Talk to us about your racing career, getting to know you a little bit better. I will have you step out and we'll give you a call in a little bit to thank you.
Yeah, no problem, guys. And thanks for having me on, and hope to see everybody at the racetrack soon.
Yep.
All right, thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
bye.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it was Mike Boesel on our racing show tonight, talking to us about his racing career. Go hit him up on all of his social media platforms if you'd like to get to know him better, or if you'd like to sponsor our racing show, be on our racing show, feel free to call us or text us at 712-209-713, or you can email us at jjnolan151